Okay, so very, very cool bike here in front of me. Very rare. I've never actually seen one. I've seen them on the internet and in magazines and stuff, but I've never actually seen one in the flesh. It's a 1994 Honda CRE 260. So Honda never actually made this bike themselves. They had an Italian importer at the time who basically bought the bits and built a bike that Honda themselves never actually made, the CRE. So it's an enduro version of the CR250. Now, so because Honda never actually made them, the frame number is completely different. So the frame number on this one starts Moto 2. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's because it was officially manufactured by this other company. So yeah, so this is actually one of the coolest bikes that I've brought in, because I've never seen one really, and because it is so cool, not actually being made by Honda. So a slight frustration with it. So my mate Mark had it and he bought it, for himself, I think, and then he ended up deciding to sell it. And I was like, I'm just not sure about it, because sometimes rare bikes, people aren't looking for them the same, so sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to shift on. But anyway, I said that I'd try and sell it, so I put it up on my Instagram, my Facebook, and that it was up for sale, and a lad came and paid a deposit like within an hour, but he's recently got in touch and cancelled his order, so it's up for sale. And I put a picture of it, I think, on Facebook or whatever, and a guy's contacted me, but the guy's from America. So if he does actually take the bike will have gone from flipping California in America to the UK and then back to Texas. So we'll just have to see. A bit frustrating, because it could have just stayed in America and gone overland. But there you go, one of them things. So yeah, so it's needs a bit of a clean and a little bit of love. But obviously, being a rare bike and an enduro bike based on a CR250, I reckon it'd be a right good bike to ride, and very worthwhile doing up. So anyway, let's have a bit of a closer look at her. Okay, so like I say, she could do with a bit of a clean up. I don't clean the bikes that I bring in as a general rule, unless I'm doing a bit more work to them, but that's rare really. So it's a CRE, you can see from the rad scoops there, and looks very similar to a CR250, a regular CR250. A few different bits and pieces. It's got a longer range tank, and a lot of the rest of it looks very similar. And then we've got things like there's the VIN plate, and the actual VIN, like I say, which starts Moto -2, blah blah blah. Yeah, very cool. But the rest of it looks identical. Now, actually, it's possible that there have been a couple of changes on this bike, because the guy in America has asked me to have a look for the extended rear fender. Obviously that's not on there, so that's just a regular CR250 fender, and there's no lights on the front either, and clearly it would have been an enduro bike, so it would really have had lights, and I've checked and there's no lighting coil coming out of the stator, so it could be that that's been changed. There's a Steely flywheel weight on there, so I don't know if someone's swapped the ignition over to a CR250 and put a Steely flywheel weight on, or whether these actually came with those flywheel weights from Italy. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it. But she's generally in good condition. Looks like she's got a bit of a soft front tyre. It's got an FMF Gold Series gnarly pipe, which is good for low end grunt, so perfect for enduro. The engine cases look good. There's a couple of little dents on the underside of the frame, which is quite common, but people can get out. Quite cool on the barrel itself, so it's a 260, not a 250. On the barrel itself, they've filed off the 249 centimeters cubed, and it's just blank centimeters cubed. So that's one of the things that denotes it as a 260, as does this frame plate here. And on this frame plate it says typo CRE 260. Forks look to be in good nick. They've got these fork socks on. I'm not taking them off, and you know it's highly likely that you'll need to do the fork seals on this bike. Turns over, reasonable compression. The brakes work. The front wheel looks. Do you know, I do this all the time, and then I always flipping miss something, but the front wheel does look to be in reasonable condition. Stone chips and this, that and the other, so the rim's not immaculate, but it's round, so it can just take a fresh set of tyres on it. I'd always recommend getting a fresh set of tyres on these bikes that I've imported. They're normally very hard and not been used for a long time. So yeah, there's no lighting wise. It's had a steering damper on it as well at some point, so there's the holes inside of the frame from where they put the post for the steering damper, and it's got a slightly different top clamp, so that's something to note. The engine looks good. Not, like I say, it's not the cleanest bike. It's obviously been used quite a bit. There's frame paint's worn. Don't know if these are the original pegs. They possibly are, like nice fat pegs. Swing arm looks good, very dirty underneath, so can't tell if there's any major dings in there. Nice Pro Circuit silencer. And this rear wheel, there's a slight dent there. So that's, if you were being picky, you'd want to sort that. I find that you can run a rim with a dent in it for quite a bit really, but probably not the best idea. Linkage. There is a fraction of play. Definitely not the worst I've ever felt at all. But yeah, there is some play in there. Right, let's do the gearbox check. Lovely bike, this, gorgeous. I was going to fucking run this bike down the road, but it's absolutely chucking it down, so I'm not going to do that today. I would like to ride it. If the guy from America doesn't take it, I'll probably road register it and sell it after that point, really, so maybe get a chance to ride it. Okay, so we're in neutral at the minute. It's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. It's the top of the gearbox. Back down to fourth, third, second, and neutral. Right, we'll take her off the take her off the engine stand and get her fired up. And like I say, I was going to ride it just up the road like I do sometimes, but it's throwing it down, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, let's get her fired up. Bit of a mistake, I just had it running and then went to get the camera and had not set it filming, so runs lovely, this bike. Get to ride it up the road today. There'll be another day, won't there? I can do it another time. So yeah, so sounds awesome. I think it's probably overfueled, so I think it could be leaned off a little bit, which I think would help it. It's got a slight bog just off the bottom, so it's probably too big a jet, so needle position wrong or something. But yeah, a bit of work on that would go a long way. So yeah, lovely bike. One of my top 5 that I've brought in for definite. I'm going to do a video later, I think, about my top 5 favourite bikes that I brought in. This one's definitely in it. So yeah, there we go. I'll send the video off to the guy in America, and then if he doesn't want it, it'll be up for sale at some point in the near future. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.